All right, bro. Are you ready to start this podcast?
Of course, I'm excited. I saw the agenda. So, what do you got for me, Mark?
Let's jump into the agenda. All right, bro. First, a few news that I found super interesting, especially since we use it a lot. So you've been using OpenAI, Chatgpt a lot. And did you know there's a new thing called custom instructions?
No, tell me. What is it?
All right. So it's pretty cool because this way you can give ChatGPT custom instructions. So these are settings that you can give them like, hey, please remember that I am a content creator and I'm trying to give content about AI, etc. Please make this always informational and not as as adsy or something. So this way you can give them instructions that you don't have to repeat when you open a new chat, which is really, really cool because this way it will save you time and you don't have to do the same fracking prompt all the time. So you can just ask directly or the topic, you can tell directly the topic that you want to talk about without giving it instructions on the side. The downside is it's not available in the EU yet. So you have to get a VPN to get it done.
Can you give me an example how it would work?
All right. So for example, if you are a content creator, you say, hey, I generally create content about new cool OpenAI tools or in general AI tools. And then please, there's like two boxes. The first one is like, hey, what is the context? And then it's like, hey, how do you want the format to be? And then literally you'll be like, whatever you give me as answers, make it always in a table. So for example, different example. This guy, hey, I'm an amateur cook. All right. Yeah. And I want to cook meals at home. Second one is like, all right, always answer me in instructions of 3, answers in 3, as well as in a table format. So this way, if you ask now, hey, I have onions, meat, rice, and tomatoes, tomato sauce, soybeans, etc. Please give me recipes I can follow at home. This way, ChatGPT directly will answer you in 3 different recipes and 3 different ways to cook it, and as well as in a table format because you gave these instructions. So this way you don't have to change anything at all, which is very, very useful.
So that might be very useful as well for like writing a blog, right? So you can give it a structure, say like, hey, always spit it out in this format, or I will give you all this information. Please put it always in an Excel sheet or whatever, or in a sheet format. Right. That I can see that
exactly.
Useful.
So this is perfect also for you because I know you love that, writing blogs with that.
Needs to be done.
It is very true, very true. All right, I want to jump into the next announcement that I found super interesting. This one is Microsoft. Big Micro is fucking killing it again. They've been all in on AI. And now they want to introduce an AI-powered Copilot directly into Microsoft Teams. So anything that's Microsoft 365, they want to integrate that.
Which, even though I'm not a big fan of Teams, always sucks. But yeah,
Microsoft Teams sucks, but the suite is cool, right? So you have Excel, which could be then AI formatted. You have, what's called Word. All these kind of things you can have all with AI, basically, which is super interesting.
PowerPoint. Think about PowerPoint, right? So you can say, hey, I want to have this sheet, whatever. I'll make it prettier. And then they can just format it, right? So similar integration of, what is it called? The painting one. What is it called?
Midjourney.
Midjourney. So basically combining with Midjourney. So you can say, hey, give me a creative design. It should be this and this. And then it just gives you a layout or potential template. So I can imagine that for PowerPoint, that would be pretty sick.
I think let's put it this way. Expectations are super high. And I think the implementation will be a little bit difficult. And I'm sure there's limitations at the beginning. But it's super, super epic, especially for all our consultant friends. Fuck yeah, they can use this, fucking print out basically all well done presentation, easy peasy, and just you can pull the data into automatically if it's all integrated, obviously. And I think that would be super, super cool. And I'm sure this will increase productivity by 10 times, at least. It's what I believe.
Man, we should call this podcast How to 10x Your Productivity. Easy peasy AI tools.
I'm down. And this one is another one. It's going to the same direction. Yeah. The other big boy, Google, is now introducing an AI tool, and they call it Genesis, like the book Genesis of the Bible. I'm guessing that's why they have the code name.
What's the difference?
All right, so basically, this is a product directly B2B, and they're trying to sell this to like news publications such as New York Times, Washington Post, etc.
Yeah.
And it can basically write articles. So all right, they talked to them and they said it's a little bit unsettling that they can write articles, etc., because you don't know if something is factual or not. So Google said, hey, boys, we're not going to steal your jobs. It's just another tool to make it much, much easier for your journalists to write. Obviously, they still have to do the research, but it will make it much, much more easier for them to do anything. So that obviously will change the job of a journalist at this point, right? You have to do a little bit of research. The writing can be done by the AI, but then you have to do a lot of fact checking as well. So I think this will be in the future because you can be so much more productive because checking is much quicker than actually writing.
Yeah.
And then hopefully what would that mean in the future? Well, I think that would be cool that we don't see that much clickbait anymore, like clickbait journalists, because now you can write articles that are super interesting and it's not as time consuming, right? And you can have anything AI generated from the thumbnail, etc., much quicker to get the people to the news that you want.
No, that makes total sense. I mean, I hate clickbait, but I mean, clickbait works for one time, right? There's a reason why it still exists and why it's still there. Same with the thumbnails. I mean, but yeah.
I think in general, journalists or these kind of newspapers is problematic unless you're the New York Times, because the more people click on you, the more money you make. So that it doesn't matter. You don't have to be factual on what you say and what you talk about. And even then, it's very subjective, right? Your opinion is your opinion. That's it. It's not necessarily a fact. So I think this is problematic in general, that the whole industry. But anyways, we're getting off topic here. What do you got for us, bro? Before I kick it off with my final information, which I found super interesting, or should I go with that?
No. All right, everybody. So for all the gamers out there, this one is for you guys. As you probably know, Twitch has always been the giant. Back in the day, there was Mixer, there was Facebook Gaming, but now there's a new one. It's called Kick.com. Just to give a little back information. So basically, Kick just came out of nowhere. Kick is actually founded by the crypto gambling website Stake, as well as a streamer called Trainwreck. So Trainwreck actually focused on, has over 2 million followers across all platforms, and his main focus on gambling. So now you're wondering probably like, why is that relevant now, right? So why would anybody challenge right now Twitch when other people even tried it? So last year in October, basically Twitch banned all gambling on their website, and that release or that was a problem for a lot of people because a lot of people were just gambling on the website, like streaming gambling. For example, you saw last year that Stake actually acquired most of their users, or a lot of them, through like Twitch, and they basically gave like big personalities like Drake, I think 100 million to gamble on the website, and then it's 100 million gamble on the website and and stream it, and that's how they acquire users.
He could just get basically he got $100. He can 100 million. He can
basically credit,
away,
right?
Or
Score,
how much money?
So 100 million score store credit, and you just can gamble it away. So they don't really care. You're always like, how 100 million? What? Just to give you an example, I think like last year they paid dividends of like I think roughly 800 million. So it's a super profitable. Fuck? Now, why is this the big opportunity? So imagine if Twitch closes their acquisition channel. They're like, all right, we're anyways profitable, so why not build a competitor? And that competitor, they can use all those gambling streamers, directly go on the website, and just like, all right, stream from there. Now, what they actually been really aggressively acquiring talent, but they're doing differently. So, for example, they learned
differently to whom, Lucas?
Exactly. They acquiring it differently compared to what Mixer did, as well Facebook Gaming. So, for example, Mixer, I'm sure most of you know that, for example, Ninja signed a contract between 20 or 30 million to exclusively stream on Mixer, right? Problem was he had to stop from one day to the next one. So basically, and now the saying is like out of mind, out of sight. So if you go always to Twitch, so your habit of going to Twitch was bigger than actually watching Ninja, then you don't know, like you're like, all right, he's not streaming anymore. What's happening? And then you just like stick to Twitch. So that was a big problem that Facebook Gaming as well Mixer did. Now on the other side, Kick on the other side, woof, they're doing it smart. So they're offering first of all huge sums, like they're dropping right now, I think 100 million for like a few year contract with, for example, a streamer.
What?
And yeah, 100 million. But they're doing it as a mix, right? So it's not even an exclusive one contract. They're offering 100 million, and basically he's not exclusive, meaning he can stream on Twitch as well as on Kick, which is smart because in the end, what they will be doing is, hey, I'm streaming on Twitch now. Imagine we were playing a battle royale like Fortnite or whatever, and I'm very close to finishing the game. Like I'm like only 3 or 4 more squads were alive or Apex, and then we're like, all right, guys, to see whether I get the battle royale or the whatever, just finish the game on Kick, right? So it's stream below. So they're funneling users that way directly from Twitch to Kick. So basically, the gender keeps streaming on both platforms, but getting more and more into that one.
I think it's super smart because it also incentivizes the streamers, right? Because before they were like, hey, I don't know how I'm gonna transfer the audience, but now
Yeah.
they can also do it like, hey, by the way, come to our other side because subscribe there, please, because it's
yeah.
probably better for them, right?
You're missing
Did
content.
you already talk? Yeah.
So, also another point, good point, with like, why is it so valuable for the streamers, right? Because on Twitch back in the day, it was the split between revenue split between 70 for content creators and 30% for Twitch. Now they changed the rules because, they got a monopoly. Like, all right, fuck it. It's 50-50 now with ad split. And then Kick came in, like Kick literally started on the 1st of December. They said, all right, 95% for content creators, 5% just we keep it ourselves. And you're like, how are they going to make money? Well, imagine Kick is a website which just funnels in all their users for the gambling, right? They don't care about the streaming. That's a lot cost center, but they can use it as an amazing user acquisition channel. So, for example, in May, they had, I think, 74 million views, the website, visits, unique visits.
Yeah.
And then last month in June, so 1 month later, like 150. So they almost doubled million, right? Which is a lot. Now, another point is, what I think is like, it's mind blowing, right? Like out of like 6 months later, like 153 million visits. Casually.
So I'm on their website now. Lucas, and they have the categories, so top life categories, and like in the category like 8, I think, is pools and hot tubs and bikinis, bro. So it's
Yeah, I mean, they have
like OnlyFans kind of content on there, like not naked, but basically just in bikinis, hot tubs. It's fucking insane.
yeah, they have like, that's a thing, right? They're like, all right, whatever brings us, what is the best use case, right? Who will also be using for gambling? Like, for example, here I see like gambling's number 1 on Steam. So it's like super
More
interesting.
gray zone. Let's put it this way. I'm guessing.
Well, it's
like
not
a
gray
Twitch just
zone.
with
It's not gray
morally,
zone.
morally.
But yeah, so that's like they took the perfect timing in October when Twitch banned it. 2 months later, they launched their thing. Super smart. Also, what I've seen in some Reddit forums that they are thinking of offering their streamers an hourly rate. So if you're a streamer, depending on your use, yeah. So imagine you're like a smaller streamer, and right now on Twitch you wouldn't get anything, and then they were like, all right, we give you a minimum wage, right? Because they believe like
That's awesome. That's really cool. Fuck
but
yeah,
again,
that's amazing.
Again, it's like some say it's just rumors, but I can imagine that because in the end, like, hey, if they have a few viewers and they might be going to gambling, they spend so much more money, so they don't mind that much. So it can be a cost center. They don't have to be profitable compared to Twitch because they have their cash cow stake.com.
It's actually pretty cool. I'm just saying that would be a great opportunity for smaller streamers then in general. If you get paid or even not paid, I mean, it's a new platform. So new platforms, you have a great potential to rise with the platform. If there's more users coming, you'll grow on that platform. And it's something that you can do dual anyways, Twitch and here, you're not losing anything. If you stream on 2 platforms at the same time, I'm guessing it's just going to cost more computing power on your PC, but that's fucking pretty epic.
Yeah, they don't mind. There's like, all right, here we go. All right, just to summarize this. So basically, Kick is a Twitch alternative. It offers 95% for the creators compared to 50% of Twitch. Most of the contexts are non-exclusive, so you can stream on both platforms. And of course, their angle is to funnel all these users into the gambling website. In general, it's a cool platform. They grew a lot. Let's see what the future will bring.
Quick break in the pod. All right, guys, I want to talk to you about good gaming etiquette.
So, Mark, what is a good gaming etiquette?
Well, thanks for asking, Lucas. Good gaming etiquette is when you enjoyed a game, you got carried, or you had a great teammate, you just drop that GG well played in the chat and thank the other teammates for being there.
Ah, I see what you did there. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this pod, please leave a comment, share it with a friend, and of course, leave a review. And now keep enjoying the show. I believe they will keep growing, but then of course, let's see whether they can stick it out. How about you, Mark?
All right. So you know how there's every 4 years there's the Olympics, and like everyone gets super psyched.
Well, I mean, not everybody, but yeah, of course, yes.
So I think there's also every 8 years there's a platform shift, and I think we are just in the new platform shift, and I think we're going to combine this now with the Olympics. So what just happened is Meta just kicked off the AI games. Talking about the Olympics here. This is the big boys. The big boys are playing. Microsoft, Meta joined the fray. Apple, we talked about it already. Google, they're all making big boy moves. And Meta just kicked it off by releasing their own LLM, so large language model. But it's called Llama 2, and it's authorized for commercial use. And this is the thing, it's open source, which is fucking insane. And it's super cool because all the other ones, Chatgpt, so OpenAI, etc., they are not open sourced. So what does it even mean when it's open source? Open source means that you can check the source code and you can change it. That means you can train the algorithm better on your own data and make it just much more accessible or better for your product, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't have the other biases in there, or you can add a bias if you want as well. Obviously, there are risks, but
what is
I
a
think
bias,
it's super
Mark?
Interesting. So
Please
bias
explain.
is basically a bias is that if you have a data that is leaning towards one side of it, it will always have this data bias. For example,
I can give you a good
so for example, Apple had that back in the day, had some issues with when they had their Face ID. When their Face ID, that most of the data that they fed into the algorithm were white people. So that means that the algorithm, the Face ID, had issues when it came to black people as well as Asians or Indian to open the ID to unlock it, just because mostly the things that it actually fed in was just white people. So thereby it created a bias toward white, and then thereby it was definitely confused. And the same is with other content. So the more content you have, the better it is. And obviously the more content of different categories, the better it is. But there's also a downside, right? If you are specifically for, let's say, I don't know, an AI sales team for tractors, you obviously want to just feed them information about tractors, because the sales tactics for tractors might be much more different than other ones. Then you sell, I don't know, dog grooming kits.
But then the question always comes in, like, is the data big enough, right? And if it's data not big enough, you might have to go with data which might be very similar. So like tractors.
No, 100%. 100%. But I think it's super interesting.
Trucks.
And these large, it's really, really interesting for large companies, which I find super weird. They actually have a limitation on it. So it's only for commercial use, unless you have a product with more than 700 million monthly active users. So I was like, bro, is that just to fucking Twitter? Fuck you, Twitter. Because who the fuck has 700 million monthly actives?
Well, I wouldn't mind having 700 million monthly active users.
But like, honestly, do you know any businesses 700 million active users?
No. I mean, yeah, of course, between like the big ones, right? Facebook, Twitch, Twitter.
Yeah, this is insane. I was like, what the heck?
It's crazy. I mean, not even Threads right now, but yeah.
No, I know. But all right, let's go about some key points about this. So what is Llama 2? So it's basically a ChatGPT. It performs right now at the level of better than GPT-3. I think almost on par with 4. Obviously, it's going to be better and better. It also has reinforced learning from human feedback. That means you can have misconduct, etc., or I don't know, texts or conversations that you shouldn't happen, you can have that reinforced and it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Then they also partnered up with Microsoft, which is super interesting because they want to host it on Microsoft Azure and make the money this way.
So like an integration directly in Azure, so they can do the compute the cloud computing. Basically, Azure is offering it.
Exactly. So you can do cloud computing, easy to integrate, makes it much better for some companies to do it than have to fucking build their own infrastructure. Yeah, then with this one, I find super interesting. They have a deal with Qualcomm. So they want to integrate Llama 2 into laptops, phones, and headsets. So on the chips,
for those who don't know,
level.
Qualcomm is probably the biggest chip producers for Android phones. So Qualcomm produces Snapdragons. Snapdragons are normally now Google produces their own ones, but Qualcomm produces normally all the chips for mobile devices.
So, but what laptops are using
Apple,
Qualcomm?
I'm actually not sure what they're producing. That's a good question. Have you find anything?
Dell. Some Dell laptops have it. Oh.
But the question is it not, I mean, maybe it's just a Wi-Fi card or whatever, right? So that might be the case.
Okay. Yeah, it's like the small ones. It's like tablets basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, got it. No, also then obviously it will be also available from AWS, Hugging Face, and then Azure that we already talked about.
Hugging Face.
Why? I've never heard of them, honestly. No idea.
Interesting.
But I think that's super interesting. I think this is really, really big. And this is going to be a huge change because that puts a lot of pressure maybe also on Chatgpt or OpenAI and Google because they don't have code open source. And in general, it's going to be a super, super interesting dynamic. To summarize, Meta's kicking off the fucking AI Olympics by just releasing a fucking nuclear bomb out there, by making it open source, partnership with Microsoft, so it's easy integratable with the Microsoft Azure platform. And that's it. Zuckerberg is going for it. Boy, man, he's fucking going for the Olympics, big boy. He's releasing threats in this now.
But my question though is like, look, Microsoft is also one of the biggest investors in ChatGPT, right? And now they're partnering up with Facebook. So Microsoft positioned themselves as a winner. Doesn't matter who is winning or who's kicking it off.
Yeah.
They're saying, all right, we have a big stake in ChatGPT, and now with like Meta or Facebook releasing Llama 2, perfect. It doesn't 100%. Matter. So yeah.
And also
job,
think
Microsoft.
about it. I think so. Because they have a stake in ChatGPT in OpenAI. They're also using their cost center, Microsoft Azure, already as to make money as well, right? Because they have a partnership with Meta. If they have more people using Microsoft Azure, fucking epic. I mean, that's a win-win.
Smart.
They're just printing money.
Yeah.
I think that's it from me, bro. I mean, the big boys are making their moves, and I fucking love it.
Let's go. I'm excited. Let's see how everything works out. All right, inside,
twins out.
Twins out.